Hey guys, welcome to Beyond the Warriors. I'm the Naked Athlete and this is Let's Talk Training. So this is where I wanted to go with this whole vlog thing, is into the Comrades training. Hasn't happened up until now, but we'll rectify that today. But first, some feedback. Two things. After my latest video, a trusty Facebook friend and follower commented that he didn't know whether I had qualified or not. And I should have let you know that, but in the excitement of having the electricity back, I just wanted to post. Anyway, I did qualify. It wasn't great, it was very hot, there was no breeze whatsoever. The first time I've ever seen all the runners divert on the road to get into the shade. Never seen that before. It was a very, very hot and very, very humid day. We know the stories about the water and things like that, so it wasn't a great day all round. I did see to F batch. It's not where I wanted to be, but we'll take that as a win for the time being. I may try to improve on that. The second thing I want to feedback about is my gels. I said in my last video that I'd be looking at trying out some gels. I haven't forgotten about that. I'm going to do a upcoming video on race day, what you eat on race day, basically. So yeah, that's my feedback. I'm not going to talk about the things that other people talk about on YouTube. You can go on and you can find out how to run a sub 4-hour marathon. You can find out how to run a 10k in 3.5 minutes or whatever, I don't know. But there's lots of training out there. Lindsay Perry, his training schedule, probably the best. Well thought out, and it's the one that I stick with. So I'm not going to try and reinvent the wheel. I don't think I can do any better than a lot of those guys out there. So I'm going to have a different look at training. There are three things which affect your comrades. Three things that you are that can affect your comrades. Sadly, one of them is genetics. Alright, now there are genetically runners and genetically non-runners, and people at various levels in between. If you were to give it a scale of 1 to 10, a Comrades gold medalist would always be a 1 or a 2 genetically. Alright, you're not going to get someone, a non-runner, genetically a non-runner, getting a gold in the Comrades. It won't happen. But there are a lot of 9s and 10s that finish Comrades. Genetically they're not programmed to run, but they can still trundle away through the Comrades. I'm somewhere in between. Fortunate enough to have a small build, and genetically I'm got a good muscle structure for running. Maybe in my younger days I could have gone for gold, but I'm just battling at the moment going for silver. Okay, I estimate, and this is just my feeling, that genetics will account for 10% of your ability, the kind of day you're going to have on Comrades. If you're a gold medalist, obviously it accounts for a lot more of that, more than 10%, but as the average runner, it's a small percentage of how you're going to go on the day. Secondly, your training. Now, this is what we're going to come to shortly, but my estimate is that the training accounts for about 30% of how you're going to feel on Comrades Day. 30% is also a fairly small amount. If you train very hard, you're going to feel better. If you train very less, you're going to feel worse. If you don't do any training, probably not going to make it. It's a big run. So I'm saying 30% of how you feel on Comrades Day is due to your training. That leaves a massive 60%. 60% of how you're going to feel on Comrades Day is determined up here. You are going to need a strong mind. If this is your first run, you're going to need a strong mind to get through it. If I can give you one example, a good colleague of mine, he ran 2016, the down run. It was his first Comrades. He had been telling me throughout the training, as long as I can get to Hillcrest, I'll be okay. So what he was telling me is that if he reaches Hillcrest, it will be fine. The rest is downhill. That's what he meant, but he never finished the sentence. So what he was doing was he was programming his brain to only reach Hillcrest and be happy with that result. If I reach Hillcrest, I'll be fine. That's what he said, over and over. The brain is a very powerful thing. Just be careful how you program it. The joke is, in the afternoon, he was digging in his garden. So, yeah, really wasn't pushed to the limit. He went on to do the down run in 2018 and completed successfully, and he's registered for the up run this year. So, all the best. You should be telling your brain over and over between now and Comrades that stopping is not an option. You keep going, keep running, walk, run, get there. The brain is a very powerful thing. When you line up on that line on Comrades Day, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of hype, and playing the Shores of Lorzo and all these other great things that give you goosebumps. And when you line up there, you have to be certain, 100% certain, you're going to make it in the time that you want to make it in. I'm aiming for silver this year. I can tell you now, right now, that I won't make it. I can tell you right now that I will probably be, on a good day, between 8 and 8.5 hours. But when I line up on that line in the morning, I will know with 100% certainty that I'll be there in under 7.5 hours. And that's the way I do it. That's how you get through Comrades. You might not do it. Don't worry about that. It's a big race. Anything can happen on the day. You can injure yourself going up both as hill as I did in 2011, and you're going to be, I was 10:53 or something. So I was aiming for 9 and got 10:53. Just made it in bronze. But that's what happens on Comrades. That's what Comrades is all about. I was picked up along the way by a club member and said, "Come on, let's go." And right at the end, I managed to get going again. It was a tough run. It's all what's up here. When you line up on that race day, you're standing at the beginning. Don't worry about the music. Don't worry about anything else. Just know in your head you're going to do it in the time you want. So let's talk training. Before I talk training, let me give you a davothesis. Whatever you run, what do you mean? You don't know what a davothesis is? Okay, let me tell you. A davothesis, a tentative insight into the natural world, a concept that is not yet verified, but if true, would explain certain facts or phenomena. It may be empirical or theoretical, based on observation or a hunch. It may be based on nothing at all, but it's always given to you authoritatively by a Dave. So now you know what a davothesis is. You can go tell your friends. So, davothesis number 1. Whatever you can run in a week, comfortably in a week, for about 6 weeks, you can do on a race day. Let's break it down. Not like that. What I mean is, what you run in a week, I'm talking about your average weekly distance. Okay, so it's the average over the period. The 6 weeks I was talking about, it's an average of 6 weeks. Some people need about 6 weeks, some people need less than that. Some people might need more. It boils down to what we do in our training for Comrades. You can run and put in a good training for a period of about 10 weeks, no more.
for the first 4, you're really building up to the point where you can do your 90 kilometers, 70 kilometers in a week, whatever distance you plan to do. Thereafter, you're training at that level so that on the day you can run. So it's no different from what we know Comrades training to be. With that knowledge, you can now take it across the board. And if you're aiming for 5Ks, you can do it using the same procedure.
So how does that help you? We know that in the Comrades training, and most of the training schedules, a finisher will have to run about 70 kilometers a week in their training. A bronze medalist, 90 kilometers a week. A silver medalist, 120 kilometers a week, or whatever the figures are, I don't really remember. So, set your goal. Whether you're running Comrades, marathon, half marathon, 10Ks, 5Ks, even 2Ks. Set your goal. Get yourself to the point where you can run that in a week, and 6 weeks thereafter you'll be able to run the race you're aiming for. The maths is quite easy.
So that's my look for this video. If you like it, then subscribe and get notified when I'm sending out more videos. I'll be following up hopefully this weekend with another route, the next 10Ks of the route, and then next week we'll be doing the what you eat on race day. Keep tuned, stay tuned, keep watching. See ya.